Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of our Community Access. This week, we visit with another great ribbon cutting from the Oxford Chamber. Then we have a friend of ours, is a Korea veteran, and he went to the American Legion Auxiliary, and they gave him an award. And finally, we have brought back our dog of the week from this week from the Canine Rescue League. All today at our Community Access. Welcome back. Here's a ribbon cutting with our reporters Alexis Ware. Alexis?
And possibly snow for no other than Zach Line. You may know him as 6'1", 233-pound fullbacker for the New Orleans Saints, but today he is just Oxford native, so we're gonna head inside and talk to him and see what this ribbon cutting is all about.
Most of you probably recognize Zach. He's an alumni of Oxford and has moved on to bigger and better things. Welcome to the Chamber Business Association, and I'm not going to say welcome to Oxford because you know your way around this town. But why don't you tell everybody a little bit about your new venture?
Okay. Obviously, one of the reasons where I'm at today is because of Oxford and the supporting cast that I had, coaches, teachers. I could name a million people, parents. And we want to be a part of that supporting cast. We want kids to look back and say, ETS was a big part of where I am today, not only as an athlete, but as a person. I'm just excited to have ETS in Oxford and look forward to being a homer for not only Oxford athletes, Oxford happenings around the world, but also the athletes that come through here and the families. So excited to be here and hope to see a lot of familiar faces.
So ETS is strictly for athletes. Is it something that everybody should think about, or are you going to focus on athletes only? How does that work?
Well, our main focus is ages 9 and up, athletes of all abilities, all sports. So that's our main focus.
And do you want to
8 and up, sorry.
And why don't you introduce everybody that's standing here?
Sure. I'm Ryan Engelbert. My wife Heidi, we're the founders of ETS. And Zach, maybe you want to introduce the lady over here to the...
Yeah, this is my wife Mackenzie, her daughter Harper, and then I have 2 more over there, Blake and Charlie.
And then over on the right-hand side here is Gabe Boyce. He's our Director of Operations at our facility here in North Oakland. So as Zach mentioned, we are just extremely thrilled to be a part of this community, to not only provide, next level, performance training results for athletes of all ages, of all sports, but also help these athletes become better individuals, better people, leaders in the community. As great as the stories are of Zach's and other professional athletes that we train, what really gets us excited and what keeps us pushing to open up new locations are the lives we're changing off the field, off the court, the life lessons we're teaching in the classroom, the same thing. So we're blessed to be here. Heidi and I are very blessed to be partners with Zach and Mackenzie and have an awesome staff led by Gabe here at this facility, and we're going to do great things, and just extremely, extremely excited.
Can I ask you just to give a little bit of a history of how ETS got started, since your name is in it?
Sure. So I've been around athletics my entire life. Like Zach, I was a 3-sport athlete growing up, and I knew if I wasn't playing at the highest level, I wanted to be helping athletes get to that next level. And I had a brief NFL career, not a fraction of what Zach's is, but I knew when I was done playing that I wanted to give back to the communities and really give them a way of not just performing at their highest level on the field, but like I said before, to give them something that they can be proud of when they're done playing as well. And in 2010, my wife and I, we opened up our very first gym in Woodbury, Minnesota, and really at that point we had no motives for anything more than one. We wanted to have one, we wanted to be successful at it, but the stories that we were getting from parents, like I mentioned, from athletes that are not just doing better on the field, but they're doing better in the classroom. Parents are telling us that their kids have more self-esteem, better confidence, and those types of things. We're like, okay, we have something really special that if we can figure out a way to duplicate this without losing the quality, we want to continue growing this and impacting lives, and it's kind of grown organically since then. And again, with great partners and advocates of your training like Zach and Mackenzie, it makes it that much more rewarding and that much more efficient to get out and really kind of expand, because we know that we do have something that's unique, and we're going to make a difference in this community like we have the others that we're in, and we're grateful for that. So,
And the health of our community.
absolutely, absolutely.
And so, Zach, I want to, on behalf of the Chamber, I want to give you this, but I also want to thank you for bringing this into our community. And I'm excited to give you this support. And I know Christian's here somewhere. Christian's helped make that happen as well. Christian, you want to say something about Zach coming into your facility?
Sure. Hi, Zach. Get in on the action here. First of all, the Legacy Center is a place for community, and it's an opportunity for businesses to really bring unique services to that community. So we're blessed and grateful to have you here, and we wish you all the most success. So thank you very much. Yeah.
Right. Okay, I'm going to give you some scissors somewhere.
Right there.
Oh! Stand. You have to snip them at the tip, right?
Okay.
Oh, sorry. All right.
Ready?
Bravo.
As if this gym couldn't get any better, I'm standing here with an intern. Tell us how you got this internship here.
I actually heard about it through school. They signed a brand new contract, and I was actually one of the first people, I believe, to sign up for it. So once I heard that professional athletes are training with this gym, I just knew it was going to be a fantastic facility to learn more about health and fitness in general. So I figured, why not? And yep, it's been fantastic since I've started.
And as your job, as the intern, what do you do?
So far, I have just been demonstrating the drills and everything. I've been focusing primarily on the agility drills and everything else. I help a little bit with the strength conditioning classes, but primarily just the speed agility.
Were there any requirements that you needed to become an intern here?
I believe you just needed to have a fitness background, and I've been studying exercise science at Oakland University for probably 4 years now, I believe, and I've also been a personal trainer for 2 years as well.
Wow, congratulations. That's amazing. Amazing resume starter. Now, are you local to Oxford?
I actually live an hour away. I live in Fraser, Michigan, so I'm about a good hour southeast away from here, so it was definitely worth the drive to come out here, though, every day, so I enjoy it. Yeah.
You must really love it here to travel an hour every day to be an intern for the gym.
Oh, I certainly do. The atmosphere here is just something that I've never experienced myself, with all the clients, with Gabe, with all my other coworkers and everything I interact with. It's fantastic. I love it. So it's definitely worth the drive every time.
Do you ever get to mingle with Lion himself?
I actually just met Zach today for the first time. I just started here about a month ago or so, but yeah, today was the first time I met him, and he's fantastic. I love it.
I'm here with the director now of ETS. Can you tell us what your day-to-day consists of?
Yeah, so I work with the athletes generally, obviously after school, and during the summer months it'll be more of an all-day type of thing. But I work with athletes generally starting at age 8, all the way up to the college professional level when Zach gets here in the off season, things like that. So training, doing speed, strength work with all these athletes, and yeah.
And I take it these are Oxford Wildcat athletes that we're talking about.
They don't have to be. I know for myself, I trained at ETS and I had to drive 45 minutes away to go train. So it's not just Oxford athletes. We're here in Oxford, obviously, because Zach is from this place. But Orion, anyone that wants to come train, they're more than welcome to. So, yeah.
I'm noticing a pattern of time and distance in the workers and the participants here. So obviously, it's a good foundation. It's a good gym if you're traveling that far. Can you tell us why ETS is really set apart from any other gym?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I think, for myself, I didn't have a great place to train when I was growing up, so to have found ETS when I was about 16 and then be able to stick with it for about 7 years, I really fell in love with the workout systems and everything that Brian and Heidi put in place. I think something that really separates us from, obviously there's a lot of great gyms, but all of our directors, Zach, Adam Thielen, are a couple of our partners, we all trained at ETS, and we learned from Ryan kind of what the culture is like, and he instilled a lot of great things in us. And so I think all of our directors, we try to take that to every location that we go to. So.
And between Ryan and Zach, adding that level of professionalism, how does that contribute to ETS?
I think having a name like Zach in Oxford is obviously, huge. It gives you, a sense of credibility where there's NFL football players who are backing the systems that we have in place. So anytime that you have, Adam Thielen, an all-pro receiver, or Zach Line, that are saying that, good things about ETS, and obviously directors that trained here, that believe in what we do, I think that definitely adds a level of professionalism for sure.
So of course I couldn't leave the gym today without interviewing the star here, Zach Line. Can you tell us why you decided to bring ETS to Oxford?
When I look back at my Oxford career and where I've gone in my career, I look at Oxford as being so supportive, not just when I was in high school, but when I was in college, and still now. You see on Facebook all the people, all the parents, all the coaches, all the teachers that still reach out and support me, good or bad. So I want to be a part of that supporting cast that I had growing up, and be there for athletes and have a gym in place with a culture I know is there for athletes, where we can be there over the years. When they look back, they'll say ETS was a big part of what I do, or where I'm at now.
In what graduating year were you an Oxford Wildcat?
I was 2008.
So Bud was your coach. Is there anything that really stuck out in his coaching style that you think helped further your career in a professional standpoint?
Absolutely. Bud was, he held you accountable. That's one of the big things that I think is missing a lot nowadays is, actually having to be held accountable, actually having to work hard to earn things. So that was one of those things that Bud demanded, and he got a lot of the athletes, not just athletes, walking around the hallways. He would make sure kids were doing the right things in their lives, and I still hear about when I talk to people who didn't even play football about how Bud helped them, change their ways, or just did something to help them remember their morals or their character, foundations they had growing up. So, I think we would tie in great with what Bud is preaching and what Oxford is all about. Is we're going to hold kids accountable. It's not just about training; it's about character development and making sure we're making good people for this world.
And how did you discover ETS?
I'd been to a lot of gyms. I was in Minnesota playing for the Vikings, and was kind of in the search for a new gym, and Adam Thielen kept telling me about ETS, and finally took the jump and went out there, and it was the first time ever that I'd been trained differently than a lineman or a receiver. We shouldn't all be trained the same way, and it shouldn't be a surprise, but it was surprising to me that it was different. Right? I was being trained as a fullback during football season, but then the off season, you're not trained sport specific. You're trained as an athlete, because you need different things from other sports and different movements and different variations to be a complete athlete. I think that's the reason why a lot of great athletes are multiple sport athletes, and then ETS kind of plays into that by making you an overall good well-rounded athlete in the off season, and then during the football season and leading up to it, or during whatever season, you're going to have a little bit of sport specific movements and workouts in there, but we don't want to overpower just one sport all year long.
And a lot of people don't know what ETS stands for. So can you tell us what it does?
It's Engelbert Training System. So Ryan Engelbert is our founder. It's the guy I started out with at his first gym. It was actually his second. He moved, but that was still his only one that he had. And me and Adam always, we wanted to be a part of it in some way. So 2 years after training with Ryan, me and Adam both opened a gym. I opened one. My first one is in West Michigan in Holland. And I think now we're at 10 gyms total. Minnesota, Wisconsin, and now Michigan has 2. So I hope to grow the brand like they did in Minnesota. In Minnesota, you talk to parents and they hear about an ETS kid and they say, "Oh, I know that kid's gonna be a hard worker and he has good character." It's just kind of one of those brands where, you look at certain schools like Oxford and you talk to coaches now. Since leaving Oxford, I have had a chance to talk to coaches from other schools, and they always say, "Man, Oxford's just so disciplined." That's Bud. He was doing that, and that's why I hope athletes leave this gym, and parents and teachers from the area know like that's an ETS kid.
And bringing it back to the hometown flair, just one more question. For the students of Oxford and Orient, because they're neighboring, what is something that you really want them to know, especially seniors, like exiting high school and going into their college careers?
Well, I think this gives them a good environment to have different schools come together. So you might be the top dog at your school, but you never know how good a kid is at a different school, or so this gives a good environment for, a great athlete and another great athlete to come together and really push each other, or a group of athletes to come together and push each other as a group. But that was the thing I saw in Minnesota, was there's multiple rival schools come together, and they put the schools aside and it became a family in here of, we're going to drive each other, because there's hopefully more after high school. Hopefully there is college, and this is what we need to do to go to that next level. And you have to always have somebody pushing you. Competition drives success, and that's in my business in football, there's always someone coming for your job. And going on, this is year 7 now, and I've always had to outcompete and outwork somebody, and that's all that's all built in the gym in the off season. So success doesn't just come, you have to work for it. So this is a great environment for kids to come together from different schools, different backgrounds, different everything, and become more well-rounded as a person, and hopefully get pushed as an athlete.
So you Oxford seniors and everyone, you heard it here from Oxford High School alumni. Come here to ETS, train a little bit, work harder, and you never know. You might be playing alongside him one day.
Yeah.
Welcome to ES. Next up, we went to the American Legion, where the auxiliary ladies gave to Cecil Cameron an award. Let's watch.
Are you ready, ladies?
Got your mic? We need a mic.
Bill, over on my table up there at the front, would you go get those mics, please?
Attaboy, Bill. I want to hear.
You take those things off, you can hear something.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, before the presentation gets going, I'd like to thank each and every one of the veterans here for your service. Thank you very much. See, everybody heard me. I didn't need that mic.
She has a big mouth like me.
My big mouth.
But you're,
Not you.
Oh, I can see. Oh, they already know that. I'll introduce myself too. I am Pat Bliss, and I'm the auxiliary president for Unit 108.
No.
Is it on?
he's going to turn it on. He went to turn it on. He went to turn it on.
Who did? Jim. I'll introduce myself. I'm the Americanism chairman for 108. So my name's Ellen Jackson. I'm also a past department president.
Yeah. It's not on.
Should be on.
No.
Right.
Now you got it.
It's on now.
Good morning, everyone. First, I would like to thank the commander for letting us present this special award. And I've already introduced myself. So, the Americanism Award is one of the highest awards that a unit can give to.
It is.
It's one of the highest awards that a unit can give an individual. And it's also one of the 4 pillars of the American Legion, as you well know. And I received a bio, a very special person here in the room. Cecil, would you like to come up here, please?
Give it to him for being deaf.
Thank you, guys. Keep your mouth shut.
Couldn't hear you. Happy birthday.
Our Americanism person of the year was born in 1935 in Highland, Michigan. Went to Pershing High School. His first job was J.L. Hudson. After watching John Wayne World War II movies, he decided to enlist in the United States Marines. Did his basic training at Camp Pendleton, California. He then shipped to Korea. While on ship, he was known as the garbage guy. You know, KP duty. When landing in Korea, he was assigned to the 1st Division Marines working on the phone lines in his area. Spent 14 months of his duty in Korea. After his duty was done, came home to Michigan, met the love of his life, Margaret, who was married in 1956, and had 4 great children. Son Clifford, who is a retired Master Sergeant of the United States Air Force of 24 years, and 3 daughters, 2 going on to college. After marrying, moved to Warren, Michigan, got a job with the United States Post Office. Held many positions, retired in 1992, and moved to Leonard, Michigan around 1968. Was very involved with the church youth group, taking them camping on weekends. His next love in life is golf. He started as a manager at a golf course around Leonard. One of the teachers at Romeo High School asked him if he would like to be a coach for the Romeo girls golf team. He did, stayed 19 years, and was named Coach of the Year near the end of his tenure. He also taught golf at Macomb College, moved to Brandon Township, where they now live, joined the American Legion post 108, and have been a great help with all projects while attending one of the Americana programs. Cecil met a group from Lapeer called the Young Marines. After talking with them for a while, replied, "We can do that at our post." So he did, and has been the commander since the beginning. Our Young Marines go to flag ceremonies and parades, and they have been at Co-America where they did the flag ceremony for 40,000 people. They practice marching, motivation, yes sir, yes ma'am. They respect. They have been taught this outstanding. Give the group a big hoorah if you should come to the post on Friday night, Fish Fry. You will most likely see Cecil there greeting everyone. And by the way, make sure you had some chapstick because he kisses all the women. It is my honor to present this highest award to Cecil. Cameron.
Hoorah! Hoorah!
First of all, Cecil, that is your Americanism medal. Wear it with pride.
All right.
And next is your plaque that it says, you want to read it?
I don't think I can.
Cecil. And this Americanism Award is presented November 2019 for continuous service, hard work, leadership, support, and service rendered with dedication to veteran programs, families, and the community of Oxford, Michigan. We also have another surprise, and we'd like you to unwrap this, and it's a surprise to me too, because I don't know what it is.
Hope it's an Air Force flag.
It's a Navy ship.
Hey, hey.
How are you guys, sir?
Let's see, it's these.
From what I can see, try to see.
I like to, listen to that. I'd like to thank everybody. This honor is overwhelming. I really.
Try that other mic, maybe.
Yeah, the other mic.
That battery.
Give him the other mic.
None of them work.
I shake all the time.
This award is overwhelming. I've never received anything quite like this. I want to thank each and every one of you, my family, and everybody. It's been a pleasure working with fish fry. My lips get kind of chapped. And what else can I say?
I want to say something.
Huh?
I want to say your wife wants to say. Yeah, use that Margaret term.
Right. Here we go.
Not a true
I want to
story.
thank everyone here today, and I want to thank especially this wonderful woman right here who put this all together. People don't realize how long she's been doing this and the love that she has for our family and for all of you. And I just want to thank her from the bottom of my heart for doing this and putting this all together. I know many more probably deserve this as well as my husband. I know he deserves it also, but I know many more of you deserve this also. So I want to give thanks to Pat for all that she does in the women's group and just being a wonderful friend. And God bless all of you.
Cecil, would you introduce your family? I know Margaret, but I don't know.
My oldest son, Master Sergeant Cliff Cameron. When he first got out of the Air Force, he said, "Dad, I want to go hunting." And I says, "Okay." So we got a trailer. We went up to the Upper Peninsula. And during the night, it has snowed, and I'm snug in the rug in my sleeping bag. And he said, "Come on, Dad, get up. Let's do what we've got to do." I said, "Cliff, you're not in the Air Force anymore. I'm your dad." So it was touch and go with her for a while. My daughter Dodie is not here. She's raking leaves at the house, so that's where she's at. And then we have Bonnie Cameron right here, and my baby daughter Penny. And I'd like to just say thank you. Let's Fish Fry. I sat with Fred and Dave, and we went through the bit about how good the Navy eats. Which, we don't even want to go there.
That's good.
But
Clean up the garbage,
one,
right?
pardon me?
That's because you cleaned up the garbage.
I cleaned up the garbage. I had to go through all the garbage before it got. I don't know what the Navy does with it.
We give the Marines.
So once again, I'd like to thank each and everyone in Utah. You're a conniver. Thanks again, folks. Wonderful.
Is there anybody else that would like to say something?
I don't need a microphone.
Now, Cecil is a busy Marine. He was a Grand Major for the Christmas parade for 2 years ago. He gives to Poppy, and he gives them a hug to the girls, and makes thousands for the Legion for our vets. Now, also, he is a commander for the Young Marine in Oxford, and of course, he is on stage for the Americana concert with Jan Flynn. If you've not seen that program, you need to make an effort to watch it on Facebook or YouTube. Now, we have our Dog of the Week from the Canine Rescue League.
Hi, my name is Jill, and I am at Canine Stray Rescue at 2120 Metamora Road in Oxford. Here are a couple of our dogs that we have here for adoption. We are a no-kill rescue. This is Cream, and the one up in my left arm is Peaches. They are two senior Chihuahuas that it would be great if they could go to a home together, but if they can't, and they could get a better home that way, that would be just fine. Adult only home, because they are Chihuahuas and they can be a little persnickety, but they have lots of love to give and they love to sit on a lap. So they mean the world to us, and we'd love to find a home for them. So if you think that you are interested in any of them, there's a link on Pet Finder through Canine Stray, and you can see any of these dogs.
Just another great dog with a new leash on life from the Canine Rescue League, located 2120 Metamora, just a mile north of Myers, okay? So, for our reporters Alexis Ware, and our photographers Dan Zweiss and Reverend Tuck, and of our course our editor Terry Stiles, we hope you enjoyed our program, and we hope to see you again on our Community Access.